by that tax place, by that laundromat. He walked from the gas station. He parked at the gas station. So by him even walking over there, he passed too many cameras, which put him at the scene. This goes to show that Makita Raven brother dude with the help, y'all already know for a fact, he was the one recording. He was the one that went on Ratchet TV and said what he said. He the one that tried to cover it up. So at the end of the day, we know you can't trust half the people in the hood. In the hood, everybody trying to get to the top. Everybody want to get some money. Everybody want to triple cross somebody just so they can say they triple crossed them. And they ain't even got no money for it. The $90,000 bond that they gave Govan, they could have gave that same $90,000 bond to Big Jook, because Big Jook has more money than Govan. Big Jook is part owner in CMG. I want y'all to really look at that, because in all actual reality, it's a sad situation. But I'm gonna take a moment of silence for Young Dolph, y'all, because this crazy. Me and Jay know for a fact that everybody that was carrying Young Dolph before they even came there and basically showed the footage of him being right there with his arm out the door, they already said that the back door had false entry to it, where they tampered with the back door, y'all. Who went through the back door? He tell Makita Raven he had to call his daughter. Number one, he instantly got right on the phone, through the car and double park. He pulled right up. Man, Raven, it's done. Dolph gone, and Raven kind of left out a lot of things like that he actually said, because number one, Big Jook already said that Govan explained the fact that Raven, she censored herself when she got on the news because she didn't want to say certain things and leak certain information that was in the case that hasn't been even, like, they ain't even did their fingerprints yet, or basically check his keys and check the car to see that any activity started from the car and led to inside of that. When they found the bag that Young Dolph brought in there. They found the bag in the back, in the dumpster. I want y'all to really pay attention to what's going on, because we have to really look at the fact that the iPhone messages, once Makita Raven went inside Young Dolph's stuff, Young Dolph don't keep no password because he ain't got nothing to hide.
And basically the reason that they dragged in Blac Youngsta is because the fact that his brother got sent up, and so they put that into the Young Dolph beef. But Angela Simmons hadn't even met Blac Youngsta at that point. She got him for way more than she bargained for when she went with Yo Gotti. That's why he hasn't taken her to Memphis yet to meet his dad. And the fact that he was steady trying to tell her that he wants to move upstate to New York with her and chill with Russell and his uncle and everything like that, because he want to get cool with Russell Simmons and Run DMC and them. He knows that his way out of Memphis is that if he goes to New York and stays down the street from Jay-Z, because they all live right there in the Billionaires Row in New Jersey. And they don't want the Rico to come back on them just because of Blac Youngsta. So that's why they told him and called and said to get rid of him. When Angela Simmons asked, "Can I meet Yo Gotti's assistant?" she didn't know that was supposed to be Blac Youngsta. She didn't know Heavy Camp was part of the thing. She thought that was the gym that he goes to. And so the reason why he wore that chain around her and put the Rock Nation chain on instead of wearing the CMG chain is because they changed the name from CMG. They took the C out and changed it to a whole nother thing. It's a lot of people out there that knows what was really going on back in 2008 when Young Dolph really first came out, and he didn't want to go with Yo Gotti because he understood what was really going on. When Daddy-O told Young Dolph that he was going to be his big homie and that they was going to do this without Yo Gotti, they knew that was going to be the way that it was going to be done. But Daddy-O did not tell Young Dolph that the whole time he grew up and was actually business partners and plugged up with Yo Gotti the whole time. So a lot of people failed to realize the fact that Yo Gotti flipped and Young Dolph's body is getting put on Blac Youngsta, and because they found that Benz at his sister's house. They thought it was the one from Covington, but they went back in August and actually changed the fact that the details that Makita's Raven said was in the discovery, and she was not supposed to mention that in the parking lot when WREG 13 interviewed her with Pierre Thompson. And the reason why Key Glock even stepped up to Maurice Hills, because he knows that that's his way of finally doing that music video at the cookie shop to tribute to Young Dolph. That's why they released that. And he smacked Moneybagg Yo because his baby mama rushed him and said that she was gonna call MPD on him if he didn't get off the Makita's property. They know that the defendants is gonna testify, and Key Glock is actually related to Mia J, and that's why they gonna release Young Dolph's brother to make sure. And when the people out there in the streets really found out that Govan got hospitalized after he got out, Moneybagg Yo upped and left. That's why he got out of CMG and dropped his whole new album right now. And one thing you gotta understand is that Big Moochie Grape has been laying real low, because the word is that on his block on the east side that they raiding over there, and that the Haitians let him know that they seen the black trucks pull up. They pulled up on the side of the road that's in between the sidewalk and the curb, and they sat there and rounded up all the people that was next to the old school cars right there, because they know that them trunks lock up, and when you don't have the keys, that you can't actually get access. So everything that they was hiding back there that was connected to the whole people that pulled up to the restaurant and sent everything, glass broken, all that. And your Gotti's cousin, look, condolences to everybody on both sides, man. We never really wanted anything like this to go down. But when Blac Youngsta snitched on 25 of the CMG shooters, that's when one of the informants got arrested by the feds, because they figured out that Shondell was lying. They released him, and they had to go back and find him because he was identified as the connection to the Makita's driver.
This goes to show you have to be conscious of everybody who played a role in what happened. The way they was standing outside at that gas station, Young Dolph thought they was selling CDs, squares. You gotta really pay attention to this, man, because Young Dolph tipped dude and them the whole time. They was the inside coach. You feel me? They was the informants, man, who real life was telling Big Moochie Grape, yeah, man, they finna try to set Dolph up. Next thing you know, the whole white man ride past. They instantly, hold on. The E63, man, y'all already know how that E63 is, man. They pull right out there. Boom, 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 boom. They start blowing at the car. And I told y'all, before they even open the door, from what the examiner report is reading, it's stating that this is the main one who opened the passenger door. That's where the shots came from, the passenger door. Y'all gotta really look at that, because who was driving? I want y'all to tell me. Who was driving?
Exactly. And the only reason Dolph ever even wanted to go to Makita's is before Makita's was built. When Dolph had his first car, he was hustling at his trunk there. You could go back and look at the fact that him and Finesse 2 times both went half and half on that Chevy for $3,000, for $33,000. Now that's worth in the Young Dolph Museum, when they go back and actually look at the fact that his collection is what he left for everybody in PRE, including the chains and everything like that. One thing that people gotta understand is the fact that back when Makita's was first opening, Young Dolph came and he was supporting all the people there in the whole neighborhood, because he knows what it was to be a young person in their situation, trying to get it out the mud and everything like that.
They was too turned up, G. I can't even lie. Like, at the end of the day, if y'all from Memphis, throw them Memphis down in the comment section. If y'all from Atlanta, y'all from Amsterdam, throw them Amsterdams in the comment section, man. At the end of the day, we know for a fact, man, it's sad, man, because in all actual reality, Finesse 2 times told Young Dolph, man, I'll sign to you, but man, I think I'm finna get booked because Moneybagg Yo, he got them people on me. They said Moneybagg Yo was the one who told the ops that Finesse 2 times had the bumper in the trunk.
Hey, when they seen the wheels turning from the E63, that's when the lady behind the counter jetted. I want y'all to understand, the person that came from the manager's office of Makita's stuck up the hammer, and that's when Young Dolph brother hit his backpack to assemble the Draco. But it took too long. The kit he got was malfunctioning at the same time that they was blowing shots at Dolph, but he busted back, man. Rest in peace to Dolph. He did not go out like the way that they try to say that he did. He was actually trying to get back. This whole thing happened in the inside of the store. That's when Makita's Raven slipped up. And when the feds went there to question her about it, she didn't actually discuss with Maurice what he said. They never talked amongst each other about what they was gonna say. That's why the information that they was given went against each other. He said he was just pulling up. She said he was just there. So which one is it, man?
She even stated, and I don't understand, why would you give the feds this type of information and say, yeah, my daddy said it was quick, my daddy said it was quick, man. My daddy kept saying it was quick, man. That's all they said, it was quick, man. Them her exact words. In all actual reality, 901 Trick or Treat was looking at Maurice when Maurice Hill was looking at Pamela Hill. They said Govan was the one who instantly gave them the bread. Govan was there, just like Big Juke was there. If Govan didn't want a major key player in this, he wouldn't have gave them the money like that. He wouldn't have been there when it all went down. In all actual reality, he would have never even been there. So we all can really pay attention to this and really look at what's going on and take it for what it is, because a lot of people don't want Govan to really go down for something that he really didn't do. But in all actual reality, he didn't go out there and dress up and have on their back. They said Paper Route Woo and Snoop Bands. They said Paper Route Woo and Snoop Bands was the main ones who instantly, they told straight dropping them like, hey man, y'all ain't gonna just ride down on y'all Dolph like that. Everybody knew about it. That's why straight drop, he instantly got on IG Live while he was in Cali. Next thing you know, next day, he back up in Memphis. I want y'all to understand, the ticket that he took back to Memphis, it goes to show he had a round trip ticket. It wasn't even a layover. He literally went out there the same day and came back the same day. Y'all gotta look at it. It was right in between a 24-hour time span. A lot of people don't really pay attention to that. And when Young Dolph got off that plane, they already said that he met up with old girl that he was supposed to stay with just because he was out there. Y'all gotta understand, Dolph got multiple estates and multiple properties that Yo Gotti and them don't know about. Maurice Hill pulled up to Young Dolph's house. Once he pulled up, it was over with because Kenny Money and them already had slid on Blac Youngsta's sister and them crib. I want y'all to really look at that, because in all actual reality, you can't take it for granted. You can't really look at it as if this ain't what you see. No, everybody saw him go to the gravesite. He went to the gravesite, shot a music video, and literally the same name. Like, y'all gotta understand, man, these people didn't want him to do that. That's why Yo Gotti separated himself, deleted all his videos off of IG that he had up Blac Youngsta. Moneybagg Yo already said that Ari, she was chilling with Pamela Hill, y'all. She got the info and the scoop. She saw the video. Angela Simmons, she don't want to get involved in it because she know for a fact Yo Gotti is that's her boyfriend, man. She know that she don't want Yo Gotti getting sent up or get locked up for nothing. In all actual reality, we all can really pay attention to this and take it for what it is, man. People sit back and look at it and really don't want to jump into the fact of Yo Gotti was sent up and Key Glock knew he could have answered that phone. Snoop Bands knew he could have answered that phone or even called him back and said, G, you good? You good? What did Blac Youngsta say? Young Dolph not even from Memphis. And by him saying Young Dolph not even from Memphis, it goes to show them people don't play no game. Them people doing what they doing. Them people trying to get what they trying to get and get up out of there. And this is all my commentary, you guys, on the information that was presented. I want y'all to know, like, if you don't know what's really going on, you can do further research and deeper research to really point out what's really going on. I want y'all to understand, old girl who had on them blue shorts with the blonde hair, she was the main one. Like, she was suspicious. She was very sketchy in the way that the car kept pulling back. It made them turn around and look. They almost upped on the car because the car, once it kept backing back, they thought it was trying to block them in. That's why Young Dolph instantly parked in the front. I want y'all to really look at that because old girl with the blue shorts, she's the main one. They said that she probably was the one that got the drop on Dolph at the end of the day, man. So pay attention to them girls with them blue shorts, man. Like, at the end of the day, look at the video, examine it. really pay attention to it, man, and open your eyes and realize the fact that this is a revolving door. Hey, welcome to the channel. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know where y'all from. If y'all rocking with Dolph, throw it down in the comment section. If you rocking with CMG, I want y'all to drop the CMGs down in the comment section below. You can't really pick a side at this point because Govan, Big Jook, Young Dolph, Marcus Thorne, these people got put into a jam. They got put into a messed up predicament, which led everybody to look at Straight Drop and Cornelius Smith as if they was the ones who wanted to get Young Dolph sent up. In all actual reality, we know from what the Examiner reports stating, they said that Yo Gotti, he released some information that's shocking to everybody. And I'm gonna take a moment of silence from Young Dolph. Glorilla, she didn't want nothing to have to do with the Young Dolph situation, but she was implemented in Young Dolph's situation by birds of a feather flock together. If she would have never signed to CMG right after she just realized was just with Dolph, she just tried to sign with Dolph, and Dolph already said, you got some good talent, I'm gonna rock with you. Next thing you know, Glorilla, she said that she was finna sign a deal, $2.3 million deal with Young Dolph, PRE. Once Young Dolph got sent up, and it started to make me really pay attention to what they were saying in Memphis, and this is coming straight from Atlanta, you guys. They were saying like Glorilla, she was the main one who basically she was finna sit down and sign her name at the end of the day, man, because she knew for a fact Young Dolph had the buzz going in Memphis, and he was the king of Memphis regardless of what's going on. In all actual reality, if you rocking with Young Dolph, throw them 999s in the comment section, because in all actual reality, we can really pay attention to the fact of everybody who went in the door and who came out of that door of Makita's. We know for a fact that Glorilla, she didn't just take no picture with Young Dolph. She went to the studio, they recorded a song and everything. Y'all gotta understand this, man. And only way a person location get dropped is if the people around them who know where they finna be at, if they realize, just give it up. Like, I want y'all to understand, this is why Blac Youngsta is laying low, and a lot of people looking at Blac Youngsta like, why you laying low now? Why you trying to do that now? Blac Youngsta trying not to get himself booked. Yo Gotti already know the feds on them. Yo Gotti know the feds coming after them for one reason, because the way that they pulled up, they came incorrect. The way that they was moving out their body, man. At the end of the day, man, we have to really pay attention to what's going on, because in all actual reality, the females that was there, they could have easily just told and said what really happened in that cookie shop. And Glorilla, she's sitting back looking like she between a rock and a hard place. Should she go tell people in Memphis? Her friends already know about it because they from Memphis. Should she tell people in Memphis what happened? Or should she fall back and mind her business? Because she know for a fact that when they come get Yo Gotti, they gonna come get everybody who had something to do with it, and everybody who knew about it. That's called accomplice. I want y'all to really pay attention to what's going on, because in all actual reality, you can't really point a finger and say that Big Jook was the one did this. Govan already said that when they locked him up, he told them everything they needed to know. Once he told them that, that's where they came to conclusion. Yeah, we'll lower his bond. We'll reduce the bond for one reason, because we know for a fact that Young Dolph, his people want justice for him. In all actual reality, the bottom line of everything, we have to remember the fact that Glorilla, she was the main one. She was looking like, you know what? I'ma sign for the money, but I ain't gonna get into what they got going on. This is why Govan instantly told Blac Youngsta, like, we not gonna even holler at PRE Woo Diddy about nothing that went on. And y'all know who PRE Woo Diddy is. That's Young Dolph. Y'all already know who put Young Dolph in the game. Y'all already know Daddy-O, PRE Woo Diddy. Y'all already heard what happened to BGE. Hey, BMG. Y'all already know who he is. Y'all already know Lil Kenny. Y'all already know Lil Kenny, he was a part of everything that went on. They already said that Lil Kenny was the main one who really could have told Yo Gotti and them, yeah, y'all gotta fall back, man, because everybody in this neighborhood cool. If y'all gonna beef, go ahead and beef, but at the end of the day, we not finna be hanging with y'all, then gonna hang with them. Like, y'all gotta really look at it. That's why they said that Big Moochie Great was playing both sides. Y'all gotta really take full initiative to the fact that Key Glock is one of the ones who was with Blac Youngsta. They have multiple songs together. That's why Blac Youngsta came out and said, you know what, Dolph? You feel me? He went in on Dolph all because he knew for a fact that they was rocking with Young Dolph, but they wanted Young Dolph to sign the CMG. Young Dolph wasn't never finna do that. Young Dolph already had his own thing going on, and Young Dolph already knew that too many people was gonna be right there paying attention. This is why they said that Marcus Thorne, he got a close eye on Maurice Hill, all because of Pamela Hill said that Young Dolph came there for her. How's the mother gonna say Young Dolph came there for her? The sister gonna say Young Dolph came there for her, and then next thing you know, Maurice Hill and everybody else who was there, Keosha James, she instantly. Young Dolph came here to just buy cookies. Next thing you know, you hear 100 shots. At the end of the day, man, we know this is a sad situation, and it easily could have been avoided. This is a revolving door. We have to really open our eyes to the fact of what's going on. Dude with the black wife beater, Blac Youngsta not seeing eye to eye with Big 30 right now, and y'all already know because of the raid of Makitas. Everybody sat back and really took it for granted and really didn't pay attention to the fact that Big 30, he didn't even want to sign the Heavy Camp. He wanted to sign the BGE because he knew for a fact Heavy Camp, they weren't making no noise. Heavy Camp artists and affiliates speaking out on how they not making no money. Blac Youngsta don't want to get him no type of bread, and he signed them. I know a lot of people sit back and look at it and really don't take heed to it because they look at it like Blac Youngsta, he look out for his people, but at the same time, Blac Youngsta, he didn't want nobody to pass him up because he knew for a fact too many BGE artists, them was the main ones who realized, looked at him and his crew and said like, yeah, you got the money, but your crew still messed up. Ain't no way you got money and your homies ain't got none. And they signed to your label, repping you, protecting you. That's why I always say, your security's supposed to be paid before anything. This goes back to Dolph. If Dolph had the security on lock, Dolph got over $22 million, man. If he had the security on lock, this would have never happened. And a lot of people sit back and say the FBI was the main ones who, they looked at all the fingerprints and it pointed back to Makita Raven them, man. And you know that was their shop, so they fingerprints was on majority of the stuff that they basically fingerprint checked. I want y'all to know, Yo Gotti, he not checking in to nobody. When he went to Houston, he didn't have to check in to nobody. When Yo Gotti go to Mississippi, he don't have to check in. And everybody from Alabama, they saying, Blac Youngsta, him and Big 30 should be like this right now. Because of the long history and the longevity of CMG, even Real Life coming out there and try to basically squash the whole beef between the interior beef with CMG and BGE. I want y'all to look at everything and everybody that played a role in that. Them people sat back there and looked at Blac Youngsta like, you could have stopped Big Jip from doing that, but you carried it on. You led the man on to believing that he was going to basically get away with sending Dolph up. In all actual reality, we know for a fact, once you send somebody up, ain't no turning back, man. You got to look out for the heat. You got to watch your back. You got to keep your head on the swivel every time you go somewhere, man, because you know what happened. And you know for a fact what's done in the dark always comes to the light. I know a lot of people agree with the fact that, if you agree with the fact that what's done in the dark comes to the light, I want y'all to drop that down in the comment section. Let me know. I want y'all to let me know, because a lot of my subscribers, they rocking with the channel and they rocking with the content regardless of what's going on. A lot of people sit back there and look at it like, Young Dolph, it was too short. It happened too quick. It was too short. Like, I want y'all to really pay attention to that, man. At the end of the day, man, come around and you know for a fact that we said we was going to stay away from each other, all because we know for a fact that we know what we just did. That hit went through. That hit, we got it up out. We got him up out of there. We don't supposed to talk on no phones. We don't supposed to see each other. You know, if you got an iPhone, depending on if you got an iPhone 11, if you got T-Mobile, Verizon, you could even have cellular link. You have to really pay attention to it. They gonna track the calls, man. They gonna track the calls because it was done in a hit, man. You cannot sit there and be right there pulling up on nobody and thinking that the telephone poles ain't gonna ping it.
and they carried Dolph. When they said that the C8 was open, it was the doors and the trunk. That's why that chrome heart bag was in there, because Dolph had that around his shoulder the whole night before in the restaurant that he took the picture with right before he got whacked, man. And they seen that shoe left in the parking lot. But in the Makita's parking lot, remember, they zoomed in and they was trying to solve why it was leaked. It was somebody who was leaking in the parking spot next to where Dolph parked. That's the reason from that is because when they took Dolph and pulled him out and carried him in, he was already leaking out that trunk. And so when they put him into the cookie shop, then the only thing that they needed to do was find a way who's gonna pull up in the getaway car from Blac Youngsta's sister to bust the window. They got on the line with Yo Gotti, but they used the landline because they know that when the T-Mobile records come out after Big Moochie Grapes' phone call with Young Dolph telling them that he was supposed to pull up and that they just landed, he said he wanted to take a separate flight because he knew about a girl that he wanted to stay with for an extra day. But the thing is that they look back on it and he never booked the Airbnb. When Yo Gotti's dad found out that Govan was hanging out with Big Jook, that's when they kicked him out of the basement, man. And that's within 2 days, the situation happened at Young Dolph, and you see the tow truck driver getting paid, and JoJo Splat was in the passenger seat. That's how he identified whether they was gonna get the C8 or Young Dolph's Lambo. The unit already pulled up. The fact that the dude with the glasses blocked the entrance of Makita's because they did not want them to see everything that was dropped on the ground. When the reports came out that they found Young Dolph's wallet in the bushes and his second iPhone in the dumpster, it was set on fire intentionally, man. And the reason why Makita's Raven brother went on that interview to speak on it was the fact that they tried to clear their name. They paid $180,000, which was twice as much as what that GoFundMe had brought in.
The person who was recording at the gas station, the Shell gas station, if I'm not mistaken. If I got it wrong, y'all let me know in the comment section. I want y'all to know. I wanna bring something to your attention because the feds, they not too happy about this because Makita Raven brother, the same one with the beard that's not shaved, the same one with the beard with the patches, y'all gotta understand. He already said on the video when he didn't want to get too close to the scene because they had that black truck. Y'all know once that white corner truck come, that black truck coming right behind it. That black truck looked like a Sprinter, but that whole time, that's the evidence van. That's where they put all the evidence in. And we know by that glass being broken and the way that they captured dude, Shadow, instantly they already said Paper Route Wu was supposed to stay low key. He wasn't supposed to be around PRE that long. They said Paper Route Wu, he was with CMG, rocking with the ops. Like at the end of the day, we already know CMG top ops is PRE. Like at the end of the day, we know for a fact that Straight Drop, he was the same one who told Cornelius Smith, man, you better keep your mouth closed because I gotta go home and I still got people to feed. I still got people who care about me. Just because you ain't got, your girl just left you and your girl don't want to answer your phone call, that don't mean you got to snitch because you want to go up, get out of jail so quick just to go see what your girl doing. Come on now, at the end of the day, they fighting a serious case. People, hey, if you're new to the channel, I just want to bring some breaking, shocking news that it really got me thinking twice about what really happened in that barbershop because in all actual reality, once Young Dolph left the car wash, that's when he shot straight over to the Marathon gas station. Followed behind him was two cars, and one of them was the white Mercedes and the black truck. Young Dolph didn't know what truck that exactly was because out his peripheral, he only looked out the side rearview mirror. He just thought all because it was a foreign truck that it's just somebody who got money who just ran down airways too. The whole time, a foreign Mercedes-Benz E350, is that an E350 that he had? He had something, it was a two-door. I know it was slanted. I want y'all to really look at what's going on because it's starting to make me think that Yo Gotti coming out and basically opening up to them people. He basically said that Glorilla was in the shop. In so many words, she was in the shop with Snoop Vance, and I know I'm gonna take a moment of silence for Young Dolph. If y'all rocking with Young Dolph, throw the 999s in the comment section. why I take the moment of silence.
Exactly, and with the moment of silence, now that we came back from it, I want y'all to understand and recognize about how the fact that there's no way that they intentionally would have missed the phone calls. Like, it's only if they was looking at it and didn't want to go through with it, because at that time, Glorilla was still with PRE. She was just there in the gym shooting with them. She was prepping the turkey drive and was in the E63 when Snoop Bands pulled up to the barbershop. And she called Big Moochie Gray, who just supposed to be landed. And if she, how come that Glorilla could get through to Big Moochie Gray's phone call, but when Young Dolph has to call him 77 times, that he doesn't answer? And so that's the main question that is being left out of the whole big picture, because the last time that they seen the live from Snoop Bands, he was with Paper Route Chop, who was cutting his hair, and he even said himself that he knew that there was supposed to be a music video. That's why he had to make sure to be quick with the lineup, because it wasn't a whole haircut.
And you gotta understand, when they said Snoop Band, quote unquote, Snoop Bands was the main one, and we have to remember, I would like to rekindle something. Snoop Bands was the main one who wrote the big old post right after Jeremy Pierce said what he said. Jeremy Pierce, he put out, these are Young Dolph shooters, like the person who shot Young Dolph. He said that these are the people right here, and he had a picture of Cornelius Smith and Straight Drop the following next day on the 18th, and Young Dolph got sent up November 17th. Y'all gotta really look at that, and I know a lot of people sit back and say, Snoop Bands, he had the Kid and Play haircut. He had the box cut. Y'all gotta understand, these is the same people. They in Memphis right now, and everybody know Castelia, they not playing no games, because from what Chop already said, Chop bring the suitcase with him everywhere he go. And I want everybody to really pay attention, because this is a revolving door, and we gotta understand the fact that Paper Route Woo, by him having his pants down, that gave him a dead giveaway, because when Raven came out, she already said OG Bang Wayne song. Y'all gotta really pay attention to what's going on, because in all actuality, Glorilla, she's looking more suspicious and strange than Paper Route Woo. And Paper Route Woo was the same one who fit the full description from what the examiner's reports is stating. He fit the full description of the person who was right there with the Drake in his hand. They told him to pull his pants up before he even got out the car so that he can be able to bump the Drake.
And when the Fox 13 investigative journalists went to clear that up at Makita's, they trespassed him off the property because he asked them and pressed them on and on over and over again about why they was trying to sell the Dolph cookies at the Castelia market. They got into an argument over that because everybody understands that Paper Route Band played the one who made the same song telling them that the music video was gonna be going on. He brought the DJ set up and he was supposed to be one of the first people there, but the fact that Snoop Bands was still live and showed the fact that how could you be live and not answering the phone call at the same time? And then tried to say that he had his hands tied behind under the drapes. When we looked at the footage, he had the Cartier watch with his phone on, with the whole clipper lighter in his hand. He threw the big out because it went out, and Paper Route Chop gave him the other Snoop Dogg lighter, and that's when he told him, hey, don't you have somebody calling your phone? He said, no, I'm on live right now. And that's when Glorilla honked the horn and said, can y'all hurry up, because they're trying to get down to the music video. She just heard on Facebook that something that just happened to a Memphis rapper.
It's no way that she signed to the ops right after the same person she was just with a couple weeks prior to this even happening to Young Dolph. Ain't no way in the world you just get disconnected from Dolph right after he gets sent up. Next thing you know, you signed to the ops. No, CMG already knew what happened. This is why Bread Gang ran in there and did what they did, man. This is why Big Moochie Gray is sitting back and don't even want to hang with Paper Route Woo, is because he told Paper Route Woo, if you gon' snake anybody, if you gon' backdoor anybody, don't let it be Dolph, because Paper Route Woo was speaking in third person and didn't want to say what lick they was finna hit. But whole time, Glorilla, she was catching hints. She already knew for a fact when he said, hey, we gonna run in there and we gonna do what we gotta do, hop right back in the car. He gonna have that foreign car out there, but he ain't gonna have no security. This is what raised the red flag and made Glorilla even look at them as if they playing, they triple crossing this man. And Glorilla already said that Snoop Bands had his phone in his right hand, and by him being on live, there's no way that once Chop reached over and reached in the suitcase to grab the other liners up out of there to line his hair, he like, hold on right quick. So I think something going on, because they was on his live literally saying like, hey, you know Dolph at the cookie shop, we gonna shoot the video. Next thing you know, upcoming live, he instantly, oh yeah, Dolph got sent up. And y'all already know, when somebody say you got sent up while you on live, you supposed to immediately close your phone, end the live. Y'all know how everybody end the live and call they people. Check on y'all peoples. At the end of the day, we gotta really understand Glorilla, she knew for a fact what went on. And Glorilla friends, they was out there. And I want everybody to really pay attention to what's going on. Her friends know what happened, because her friends was right there holding the camera when Dolph took the picture with Glorilla.
And they was right there watching Keosha James's live, because you already know Glorilla was roommates with her when she went to college to run cross country. And the fact that the only reason Snoop Bands made Paper Route Chop stop the haircut was because he got the notification on Facebook from the live of Dolph's arm out the window. He seen the thumbnail in the picture. That's when he thought that this is the reason why Dolph was calling me. He had to abruptly end the appointment, because he knows for a fact that he should have been heading down there and got there way before Marcus Thornton there. If they would have beat Maurice Hill to the cookie shop, everything could have been avoided. One thing that everybody got to recognize is that they tried to sweep everything under the rug. When the people in the laundromat was running away and shaking their head like they couldn't trust the people that they was looking at, that should have been a sign and a signal for them to start interviewing every single person that was right there at the cookie shop, because there's no telling 10, 11, 12 people that was in there, and they only caught 3 of them.
Once Maurice Hill walked to the laundromat, do you know, he looked at, and you not finna take no quick glance at Young Dolph car when you know Young Dolph's still up in the cookie shop. Like at the end of the day, we know for a fact that before Young Dolph even failed, Maurice Hill tried to get up out of there, because there's no footage showing Maurice Hill pulling up right before it happened. Ain't no way you finna pull up 2-3 minutes right after it happened, or it's no coincidence. And Glorilla, she know for a fact that these the main people who told Govan, there's no way Maurice Hill sitting right there acting like he just pulled up, when everybody who was out there, they saw Maurice Hill instantly pull right up right before Straight Drop him even pulled off. That's why they ain't show you that corner in the footage. Once they showed you the corner up over there where Big Jook was, y'all know where Big Jook was across the street. And I'm gonna give y'all some time to really pay attention to what's going on, because we know for a fact that across the street was the Bentley truck. And y'all know this. R.I.P. Dolph, man, at the end of the day, man, because in all actuality, on the side, if they would have panned the camera a little bit to the right, over there towards the Family Dollar in that direction, you would have saw Maurice's car parked in a whole nother spot right there in front of Makita's where Young Dolph was laying at. They said that Maurice Hill started blowing out the window, and that's how Young Dolph fell back, and he entered. Young Dolph had his back turned. Maurice Hill fell back, that's why Young Dolph's arm was out the window. After Maurice Hill rolled the window down, they said he blew through the car, y'all. Y'all gotta understand, man, in all actual reality, we know that it was a strategic move, because the feds even telling MPD, y'all need to go extradite that man. Y'all need to go check up on that man. Y'all need to go ask that man what happened in that cookie shop on the 17th of November, 2021.
And they didn't tell you about how the fact that Glorilla seen Maurice leaving in the middle of the night of the Lincoln. She's neighbors with everybody in the cookie shop. They all live in Memphis, so everybody already knows that. Before she went and linked up with Snoop Band, she saw the Lincoln taking off down the street. She could hear the carburetor and the exhaust and him flooring it off. So if Maurice was there, then everything happened on the inside. And when you really look at it, Big Moochie Grape was already en route to the fact that he just turned around once he seen that CEO TZ and Straight Drop was right there on their way. He passed by the getaway car and he knew something was going on there. He had the weird feeling after the 70 missed calls. And so the fact that they didn't mention that is because they hiding something. Everybody's story changes. So when they went back to interviewing the second time, that's when you seen all the people flooded in the comments talking about why is she saying something different? Why did they say it was inside? Now they saying outside. And the fact that when that Lincoln was already parked there, Keosha Jones's live should already show you guys. If you go back, binge watch and rewind it, you will be able to see that the car was already parked there before Young Dolph pulled up. They got the pictures released early of the person who was across the street getting gas at the Shell. And the fact that that lady, it took so long for her to get a pump that was on the same side as where her gas cap was. She was looking around and seeing the nice car pulling up. She already knew it was a lowrider there. When they asked her, she said all she seen was a lowrider. And the fact that the cookie shop got raided when they sent Blac Youngsta in because the shooter was identified as one of Moneybagg Yo's bandits. The ringleader got caught up with Govan, and the only people that noticed is Big Juke, Glorilla, and 901 Trigger Trade. And that's why when the chains came up missing, 901 Trigger Trade's already clicked up with the firefighter that got the Cartier watch. So when they caught him in Mall of America with the chains on and everything like that, they knew that was Young Dolph's pieces. They instantly called Trap Boy Freddy. And when they went to slide on him, that's how they got their Rico. Until they found out that they got triple crossed by the Fed dude that was dressed up in the officer uniform. He's working for the other side the whole entire time. And that's how Big Juke and Govan was able to get out on bond so easily when straight dropping Cornelius and Shondell Barnett, Devin Burns, and 6 other individuals are still locked up when they haven't connected any pieces to putting them right there, when we know for a fact that they said themselves in the whole appeal that Govan was the one who actually set the whole thing up. And that's why they were really fighting to get Pamela Hill to give the feds the info about Yo Gotti, because they don't want MPD to expose the fact that Glorilla and PRE Woo was right there, and they're gonna smack them with the subpoena.
And we all know for a fact, Angela Simmons, she wasn't happy about the relationship that she got in. She didn't know what she was signing up for. Yo Gotti didn't tell her that they son Dolph up and his brother was connected and related to everything that went on in the Makita's cookie shop. And this is coming straight from Houston and Memphis. I want y'all to really understand. The examiner report is stating that CMG 8-ball, the way that Blac Youngsta left that man, and that man wasn't able to get up off the A. Y'all already know, when y'all go out with y'all homie, if he don't come back home, you don't come back home. At the end of the day, man, we all know for a fact, if you in the streets, you have to be cautious about what you do and the people you keep around. The person has to be a liking of you. Like, you have to really understand the fact that Yo Gotti told Blac Youngsta, man, you gotta protect that man more. You the one with the money. He don't have no money. He's standing around you blocking the bullets. And you gotta understand, the way that Young Dolph was hit with a line of bullets, we already know for a fact, boy, it was over with, man. They said that Young Dolph's arm instantly went out the window. Maurice instantly pulled right off and tried to pull in the Family Dollar parking lot. And then he thought about it, like, hold on. It was quick. That's why he instantly parked.
Look, condolences to everybody on both sides, man. We never really wanted anything like this to go down. But when Blac Youngsta snitched on 25 of the CMG shooters, that's when one of the informants got arrested by the feds, because they figured out that Shondell was lying. They released him, and they had to go back and find him because he was identified as the connection to the Makita's driver.
This goes to show you have to be cautious of everybody who played a role in what happened. The way they were standing outside at that gas station, Young Dolph thought they were selling CDs, squares. You gotta really pay attention to this, man, because Young Dolph tipped dude and them the whole time. They was the inside coach. You feel me? They was the informants, man, who real life was telling Big Moochie Great, yeah, man, they finna try to set Dolph up. Next thing you know, the whole white band ride past. They instantly, hold on. The E63, man, y'all already know how that E63 is, man. They pull right out there. Boom, 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 boom. They start blowing at the car. And I told y'all, before they even open the door, from what the examiner report is reading, it's stating that This is the main one who opened the passenger door. That's where the shots came from, the passenger door. Y'all gotta really look at that because who was driving? I want y'all to tell me. Who was driving?
Exactly. And the only reason Dolph ever even wanted to go to Makita's is before Makita's was built. When Dolph had his first car, he was hustling out his trunk there. You could go back and look at the fact that he had him and Finesse 2 times both went half and half on that Chevy for $3,000, for $33,000. Now that's worth in the Young Dolph Museum when they go back and actually look at the fact that his collection is what he left for everybody in PRE, including the chains and everything like that. One thing that people gotta understand is the fact that back when Makita's was first opening, Young Dolph came and he was supporting all the people there in the whole neighborhood because he knows what it was to be a young person in a situation trying to get it out the mud and everything like that.
They was too turned up, G. I can't even lie. Like at the end of the day, if y'all from Memphis, throw them Memphis down in the comment section. If y'all from Atlanta, y'all from Amsterdam, throw them Amsterdams in the comment section, man. At the end of the day, we know for a fact, man, it's sad, man, because in all actual reality, Finesse 2 times told Young Dolph, man, I'll sign to you, but man, I think I'm finna get booked because Moneybagg Yo, he got them people on me. They said Moneybagg Yo was the one who told the ops that Finesse 2 times had the bumper in the trunk.
Hey, when they seen the wheels turning from the E63, that's when the lady behind the counter jetted. I want y'all to understand the person that came from the manager's office in Makita's stuck up the hammer, and that's when Young Dolph brother hit his backpack to assemble the Draco. But it took too long. The kit he got was malfunctioning at the same time that they was blowing shots at Dolph, but he busted back, man. Rest in peace to Dolph. He did not go out like the way that they try to say that he did. He was actually trying to get back. This whole thing happened in the inside of the store. That's when Makita's Raven slipped up. And when the feds went there to question her about it, she didn't actually discuss with Maurice what he said. They never talked amongst each other about what they was gonna say. That's why the information that they was given went against each other. He said he was just pulling up. She said he was just there. So which one is it, man?
She even stated, and I don't understand, why would you give the feds this type of information and say, yeah, my daddy said it was quick. My daddy said it was quick, man. My daddy kept saying it was quick, man. That's all he said, it was quick, man. Them her exact words. In all actuality, 901 Trick or Trade was looking at Maurice when Maurice Hill was looking at Pamela Hill. Young Dolph, he didn't want to do that song with Yo Gotti. That's what this whole situation is about. Everybody looking at the fact that the feds ain't got the chalkboard with the pictures and the sticky notes. Y'all gotta understand the sticky notes got the faces on them. They gotta stick the sticky notes on the face in order to even know who to apprehend. These the same people who looking at Young Dolph like, boy, Young Dolph should have just sung Yo Gotti the little verse and then it would have been all good. No, it wouldn't have been all good. At the end of the day, you can't really say that if Young Dolph didn't rock with Yo Gotti after Yo Gotti showed him that he was trying to finesse him, like come on now, he wouldn't start dissing him. That's why I always say I rock with PRE more than I rock with CMG at the end of the day. But you can't really pick a side. At the end of the day, man, you have to understand what's really going on and open your eyes to the fact that Young Dolph didn't want to sing Yo Gotti that song because he knew Yo Gotti knew he just got in the game, and Yo Gotti wanted to act like that was his song, and he let Young Dolph feature. If you feature on a song, that means you ain't the one that made it. That means you ain't the one with the bag. Like at the end of the day, man, people gotta really pay attention to what's going on because everybody looked at CEO Daddy O like, man, why didn't you just call a quit? Why didn't you just tell CMG like, man, we gon' get Young Dolph this and he gon' stop it? No, Young Dolph wasn't going. At the end of the day, man, you have to really pay attention to what's going on and really be mindful of the people who they kept around them.
And the only reason that Young Dolph didn't get out of because this happened in his own hood. The sad thing is that even they was trying to prevent him from being successful. When the circumstances presented itself, it caused a domino effect of a chain reaction to the downfall and the demise of the young man, young Dolph, man. And we want to put the condolences out there, but at the end of the day, the only reason he did not leave out of Memphis is because Daddy-O wanted to stay there. Otherwise, they would have went on. They would have been out with Gucci Man and everything like that. But you know what? Yo Gotti and Gucci Man already bumped heads, and this was just gonna add to it. So he looked at both young Dolph and everybody else as them stepping on his toes and getting in the way. And so when Govan orchestrated and put that hit together, everything was already a rolling ball, man. The snowball effect had basically got it to where it was no control over what Straight Drop and Cornelius was gonna do. One thing that they understood was that they both had one job, and it was to make sure that neither of them get caught for this. And when they did get caught for it, they didn't plan on them going out the way that they did. Once they actually caught up with Shondell and they let him go, they understood that the only way that they was gonna ever see the day of light again was that if they told on Shondell to get him back into custody. That's how they knew who to put on the new newspaper clipping to put the stickers together, because when they ran out of the whole tape and push pins, because this whole case was about to get cold until Big Jook slipped up and they came in and searched the whole entire CMG office and found the paperwork from them sending the payments out to Govan. There's no reason why Govan had $100,000 wired to him at the same time that Mia J claimed that they put $100K on Dolph's head. The only way that would make sense is if it was actually going out in the streets. And that's why the people out there in Memphis, they already know that down there in Castalia, down there right in front of Makita's across the street, that set that stands there, they understood what was going on. They didn't come outside that day because they was paid to go in and not see nothing. Everybody hid and turned their heads once they seen the King of Memphis was getting rolled up on, and they didn't want to get in the way because they knew that the power behind the people that was sending that, this was coming from a big higher up. And so what people failed to realize is that Dolph was helping his brother in this situation, and he was giving him a role to play by letting him be the security. But it was at the cost to him, and the real security would have been more prepared in this. And so the fact that his brother froze up, you can't blame him, man. He's never been the type of person to go out there and do that. He did not walk the same path and was cut from the same cloth as young Dolph. You see him and he might look like, you know, the way that he is, but the fact that the only reason why he ran out there after straight dropping them is because he finally put together the whole kit and connection. Once he knew that Dolph was locked in there, the moment that they unlocked the door, he ran out of there because the real danger was inside the store.
I want everybody to know, and this is my opinion, you can go do your own research, you can go look for this, like for yourself, to do further notice. I want you guys to understand, he got too comfortable in his own turf. Once he literally thought that everybody in his hood was just cool just because he was looking out for him, he got too comfortable on his own turf. It's a sad situation, but we know for a fact they was beefing, so you can't really get mad, but you can also sit there and say, dang, man, dang. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I want you guys to really open y'all eyes to the fact that CMG, they don't like the fact that they caught that Rico, because this don't stop all the money flow. By them keep even looking at us like this, man, you know you on TV, man. You better say what I told you to say. And y'all already know he said that just by scrunching his face. Y'all gotta really look at that, because Pamela Hill, she was scared, man. When Maurice Hill was sitting right there, when Makita Raven was on that news, that's why Makita Raven had the smirk on her face. If a person who always supported y'all and came to y'all shop, and he put money in there, work in there, man, like real life, he gave them opportunities to a job with PRE. He asked Makita Raven, did she want to be the secretary to file the paperwork? I want y'all to really look at that, man. That's why he opened the tax place next door. Do y'all know Makita Raven them own that tax place? And then the laundromat on the side, it's only one more store to be taken up now. So at the end of the day, we know Glorilla, she's the main one. She looked at Pamela Hill like, you better talk to Angela Simmons, because I ain't had nothing to do with that.
Hey, and young Dolph was locked inside that cookie shop, man. That's why he was over there struggling with the door. He tried to pick the lock, but he had to hit the door handle with a slug. That's when we seen the zoomed in footage of the people who went there the night that everything happened, and they seen that the door handles was riddled with holes in it from the inside. That's because Dolph was trying to get out. Somebody had to crouch from the old drive-through window that used to be on the side of Makita's. When they crouched up on that, they hit him from the side. That's how Dolph got blasted back by the window over there. And then they took the spark plug that had the exact thing that was gonna chip the window out. And so when they threw it at him and they heard the invisible round blast off, it was actually the noise that was being made after that he was already dropped that made it look like the window was freshly getting busted out. When you see the two dudes, remember one thing that they said is that the eyewitness said they were shaking the Drakes, but it had no fire coming out of the front nozzle. So what they was doing was a whole charade game, and it was Govan underneath that hoodie trying to act like he wasn't even a part of the whole situation when you know that he's the one with the bowed leg. They seen him there under the light, and that's the same shadow as the same person who was running away in California when Dolph got hit in the arm. When he came out of that and got into that Lincoln truck, Moneybagg yanked that BGE chain off of his neck because he didn't want that to be seen in the CCTV camera footage, because it would have shown in 4K that there was a connection between CMG and that chain being there in the same frame as Dolph's arm hanging out the window. That's why they had to wait for the surveillance footage. When Makita's daughter took it all out, she seen that the fact that it was not zoomed in all the way, and when she zoomed it out, that's when you see the Bentley truck for the very first time on January 21st, 33 days after everything happened.
And everybody know, in all actual reality, young Dolph was the main one. He came there unannounced. And everybody know for a fact that hey, look, everybody know for a fact that the way young Dolph walked in there, and this is coming straight from the feds and the DA's office, because from what they're saying, the examiner's reports is stating that the video shows that the C8 car door was open. The passenger door, it was cracked. You have to understand who was in the passenger seat of young Dolph's C8 Corvette. This is what the feds are stating. And the feds are trying to get down to the bottom of everything that's going on. In all actual reality, we know for a fact Big Jit told Govan, don't you ever in your life. He tell Makita Raven, he had to call his daughter, number one. He instantly got right on the phone, through the car and double park. He pulled right up. Man, Raven, it's done. Dolph gone. And Raven kind of left out a lot of things like that he actually said, because number one, Big Juk already said that Govan explained the fact that Raven, she censored herself when she got on the news because she didn't want to say certain things and leak certain information that was in the case that hasn't been even, like, they ain't even did their fingerprint yet, or basically check his keys and check the car to see that any activity started from the car and led to inside of that. When they found the bag that young Dolph brought in there. They found the bag in the back, in the dumpster. I want y'all to really pay attention to what's going on, because we have to really look at the fact that the iPhone messages, once Makita Raven then went inside young Dolph's stuff, young Dolph don't keep no password because he ain't got nothing to hide.
And basically the reason that they dragged in Blac Youngsta is because the fact that his brother got sent up, and so they put that into the young Dolph beef. But Simmons hadn't even met Blac Youngsta at that point. She got him for way more than she bargained for when she went with Gotti. That's why he hasn't taken her to Memphis yet to meet his dad. And the fact that he was steady trying to tell her that he wants to move upstate to New York with her and chill with Russell and his uncle and everything like that, because he want to get cool with Russell Simmons and Run DMC and them. He knows that his way out of Memphis is that if he goes to New York and stays down the street from Jay-Z, because they all live right there in the Billionaires Row in New Jersey. And they don't want the Rico to come back on them just because of Blac Youngsta. So that's why they told him and called instead to get rid of him. When Angela Simmons asked, "Can I meet Yo Gotti's assistant?" She didn't know that was supposed to be Blac Youngsta. She didn't know Heavy Camp was part of the thing. She thought that was the gym that he goes to. And so the reason why he wore that chain around her and put the Rock Nation chain on instead of wearing the CMG chain is because they changed the name from CMG and they took the C out and changed it to a whole other thing. There's a lot of people out there that knows what was really going on back in 2008 when Young Dolph really first came out, and he didn't want to go with Yo Gotti because he understood what was really going on. When Daddy-O told Young Dolph that he was going to be his big homie and that they was going to do this without Yo Gotti, they knew that was going to be the way that it was going to be done. But Daddy-O did not tell Young Dolph that the whole time he grew up and was actually business partners and plugged up with Yo Gotti the whole time. So a lot of people failed to realize the fact that Yo Gotti flipped and Young Dolph's body is getting put on Blac Youngsta, and because they found that Vans at his sister's house. They thought it was the one from Covington, but they went back in August and actually changed the fact that the details that Makita's Raven said was in the discovery, and she was not supposed to mention that in the parking lot when WREG13 interviewed her with Pierre Thompson. And the reason why Key Glock even stepped up to Maurice Hills because he knows that that's his way of finally doing that music video of the cookie shop to tribute to Young Dolph. That's why they released that. And he smacked Moneybagg Yo because his baby mama rushed him and said that she was gonna call MPD on him if he didn't get off the Makita's property. They know that the defendants is gonna testify, and Key Glock is actually related to Leah J, and that's why they gonna release Young Dolph's brother to make sure. And when the people out there in the streets really found out that Govan got hospitalized after he got out, Moneybagg Yo up and left. That's why he got out of CMG and dropped his whole new album right now. And one thing you gotta understand is that Big Moochie Grape is laying real low because the word is that on his block on the east side that they raiding over there, and that the Haitians let him know that they seen the black trucks pull up. They pulled up on the side of the road that's in between the sidewalk and the curb, and they sat there and rounded up all the people that was next to the old school cars right there because they know that them trunks lock up, and when you don't have the keys that you can't actually get access. So everything that they was hiding back there that was connected to the whole people that pulled up to the restaurant and sent everything, glass broken, all that, and then Yo Gotti's cousin